Governor Walz just brought the House down in front of a packed crowd in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He continues to be very good at this. Listen to it.
This guy has made it clear how he stands. He's sitting down at Mar-a-Lago after he got elected president, and this was his exact quote. He's talking to a bunch of folks at Mar-a-Lago. You're rich as hell, and we're going to give you a tax cut. At the same time, he was telling workers they get paid too much already. That's who this guy is. You tell me who in Wisconsin is sitting around saying, damn, I wish they'd give billionaires tax cuts and screw me over. Damn, I wish they'd take my health care away. I wish they'd underfund my public school. I wish they would make my job more difficult and more dangerous. And then at the end of the day, I wish they'd make me work till I'm 75 years old. No one's saying that. No one's asking for that agenda. What they're asking for is to be treated fairly with dignity. That's what we have. Look.
Governor Walz then talks about how Donald Trump has been running on the politics of fear. Play this clip.
Since the very beginning, Donald Trump has been running on the politics of fear. Look, I know something about that. I supervised the lunchroom for a bunch of years. Fear is a good short-term motivator, but it doesn't inspire people. It doesn't change their behaviors. And what I did know about that lunchroom too is the bullies who want to instill fear, they're the first ones to find out what happens when the tide turns. He's running scared now. He's running scared.
Governor Walz then talks about how when MAGA Republicans are talking about small government, what they really mean is they want it to be small enough to go into your libraries, your exam rooms, your bedroom. Play the clip.
I know. We all know this. I remember a time when Republicans talked about things like freedom, they meant it. They would never turn their back on our allies. But that's not these guys. Trump and Vance, when they talk about freedom, means government should have the freedom to invade every corner of our life. They talk about small government, small enough to be in your bedroom, small enough to be in your exam room, small enough to be in your library, telling you the things that you should make decisions about. So let's be very clear. Where I come from, and where you come from as neighbors, we respect differences. That's your opinion. Look, we're sitting here together, Brewers and Twins fans, Vikings and Packers. Look, we respect it. But on things like healthcare and what books I read and democracy, we all live by that very simple golden rule. Mind your own damn business. Mind your own business. Your Republican neighbors want to live that way. We have to.
Governor Walz then tells this story about how the Wall Street Journal reported that he was the poorest individual to ever run for VP. And then he goes on to say, well, actually, they then said that I had a defined benefit pension plan as though that somehow made me richer. He's like, I think every American needs to have a defined benefit pension plan. Watch this.
I saw last week the Wall Street Journal was trying to say, because they did a story, that apparently I am the poorest person to ever run for vice president. But then they did another story that said, oh, he's actually richer than his statement says because he has, and I quote, like this is an evil thing, a defined benefit pension plan. That is my wish for every American, to have a defined benefit pension plan.
And in this powerful message on Labor Day, Governor Walz talks about how Trump blocked overtime pay for millions of Americans. Play the clip.
I do say this. He does know something about working people. Donald Trump does. He knows how to take advantage of them. That's what he knows how to do. Every single chance these guys have gotten, they've waged wars on workers in the middle class. As president, Trump blocked overtime for millions of workers. Hell, why pay the bills? He doesn't pay his own. Why should we pay somebody for overtime? What are they going to do? That's what they do.
Governor Walz then gives this ultimate message of unity for those living in Wisconsin. Play this clip.
We respect differences. That's your opinion. Look, we're sitting here together, Brewers and Twins fans, Vikings and Packers. Look, We respect it. But on things like healthcare and what books I read and democracy, we all live by that very simple golden rule. Mind your own damn business. Mind your own business.
Then Governor Walz talks about how you should ask yourself, who do you want to lead this country? Someone like Vice President Kamala Harris, who's spent decades putting criminals behind bars, or Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, who run to the cameras to whine about how unfairly they are being treated. Play the clip.
Who's the right leader for our country? Kamala Harris, who has spent decades putting criminals behind bars, or Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, who get up every single morning, run to the nearest camera, and whine how they're being treated unfairly?
By the way, Vice President Kamala Harris also spoke on Labor Day, gave a great speech in Detroit. Here was her message that you better thank union leaders and union workers for this Labor Day holiday. Play this clip.
Benefited from that work. Everywhere I go, I tell people, look, you may not be a union member. You better thank a union member for the 5-day work week. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. Because what we know is when union wages go up, everybody's wages go up. When union workplaces are safer, every workplace is safer. When unions are strong, America is strong. We know what we're talking about.
Then she talks about what the true measure of strength of a leader is. Play the clip.
But I'll tell you, I think that there has been a certain backward-thinking approach over the last several years, which is to suggest, to suggest that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down, instead of what we know. The true measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you lift up. Who you lift up. That's the measure of the strength of a leader. Let's stop with the nonsense.
Then she talks about how Donald Trump intends to pull us back to a very dark dystopian past. Play this clip.
This election and our fight is a fight for the promise of America. A promise. I love you. And ours is a fight for the promise of America, a promise of freedom, of opportunity, and justice, not just for some, but for all. But what we know is as we fight to move our nation forward, Donald Trump intends to pull us back to the past. But we're not going back. We are not going back. We're not going back. And we know what that would look like, right? So intends to pull us back, including back to a time before workers had the freedom to organize. As president, we will always remember Donald Trump blocked overtime benefits from millions of workers. Tyrese talked a bit about this and opposed efforts to raise the minimum wage. He appointed union busters to the National Labor Relations Board, and he supported so-called right-to-work laws. And if... Here's the thing.
Powerful moments all around right there on Labor Day. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance not speaking on Labor Day, definitely a snub to workers, snub to the labor movement, and Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Walz definitely coming through on Labor Day with powerful speeches. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers together. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.